Hey there, it's EnderVerse. Sorry for being late, this video is a little bigger and more eventful than usual, and your boy also needed some rest too. In any case, let's dive into the video. After God knows how long, we finally have mob-ins on modern versions. This port, albeit unofficial, is pivotal for the modern scene. Mob-ins is the best player animation mod to ever release. Amongst its unique features, there is this feature where the player is alerted and aggressive after having swung a sword. There is also a nice contrail effect for the sword itself, as well as fresh animations for many mobs across the board. Up next we have Dynamic Life. This is a data pack that brings the cycle of life to Minecraft. Upon activation, your world will begin sprouting out. Trees will grow, then die, then grow again, all the while providing just enough organic material for other types of plants to grow around it. This data pack can be perfect for any realistic mod pack out there, and the growth you've been seeing is actually accelerated by me. In reality, those events will take hours before they are noticeable. Signal Flares adds a flare gun to Minecraft. This gun is super easy to make, but it can be quite essential for multiplayer worlds, as you can ping your current location with the flares. This way, other players nearby are able to pinpoint your precise location. With shaders, the flares become even more visible, and I really like the idea of this mod. It's a raw alternative to ping mods, but for small distances. This mod is self-explanatory. It adds two new structures, one on earth, the other on water. Either ruins will have guardians protecting the place. There is Boar on the earthy structure and Brian on the aquatic structure. Both feature special attacks and can drop materials that will help in the creation of useful items such as new types of charges, new weapons such as the whip which paralyzes underwater mobs, and the battle axe which allows for a powerful charge attack, as well as the spiked shield, which does what you'd expect. This mod is quite enjoyable. It's teeming with functionality and will encourage you to explore the caves and the oceans a lot more. If you want to play a mod pack with friends, be it a gruesome RPG one like Nightfall Craft, or a chill vanilla friendly pack like Elysium Days, then you will want to use Pine Hosting. You get a 30% discount on your first order when you use my code ENDER, as well as an easy one-click process to installing any of these mod packs. Your server is going to be equipped with high-end Ryzen 9 processors, fast NVMe SSDs for quick restarts and loading times, and DDR5 RAMs for smoother wall generations. Of course, PC components alone aren't the full picture. The support team here is effective, fast, and most importantly, isn't AI bots. These guys will help you with anything, be it crashes, questions, or even a full server migration if your current server provider isn't cutting it, or you could use the 30% off. I know you guys trust me, that's why I rarely sponsor my videos. Pine Hosting has been our only partner these past couple of years, so by using their service, you help me continue being a full-time YouTuber, and you get a guaranteed service that you can directly influence, my friend, as I am in contact with the owner, Samuel, and I won't hesitate to voice your problems or suggestions should they arise. This next mod will add beautiful VFX when you gain any type of effects. This VFX is modernistic and detailed, and you can even see it on first-person view. I am familiar with the Subtle Effects mod, which also added a VFX for gaining effects. Try them both and see which one fits you best. Heck, you may just end up using them both at the same time like I did. This mod works on recreating the Kweebecs from Hytale. The author designed its creatures very accurately, and they also built the treehouse and made sure to remain true to the original game. The author didn't just add the Kweebecs, but also the swamp monsters, making for a balanced and near complete experience. When opening the loot chest here, you will notice even the user interface is different, and is quite similar to Hytale. The only thing that bothers me a little about this mod is the textures and how they are entirely different from the base game's textures. It feels disorienting and out of place. So I hope the author does some retexturing here, making it more of an inspiration than a complete recreation. Also, for those of you asking, yes, I am playing Hytale, but no videos are planned just yet. Your boy is cooked as is. A second channel will reduce the quality and the quantity of the EnderVerse's channel. But who knows, I might just be planning something. Overpacked adds those huge backpacks hikers and campers use in the wilds. These backpacks are huge in size and capacity too. One could handle as much as 2 large chests worth of slots. And the storage here is split into 3 different compartments, allowing for better storage management. Furthermore, you you can equip your backpack with a sleeping bag from the Comforts mod. This way you pull it out and use it every time you want to sleep. To obtain these backpacks, you simply have to trade with a wandering trader. There is a good chance he will have one on stock. As useful as they may be, these backpacks do come with some limitations. To start off, they slow you down 20% if they are full. You also can't board the chest boat with it, nor can you access your backpack without placing it down. All of the limitations are for the sake of balancing the mod. I'd only recommend for the author to revoke the one that prevents players from accessing backpacks while equipped. It is extremely inconvenient sometimes. This is one of the best backpacks mods I've ever seen in a while. It is filled with useful features and highly balanced too, so be sure to try it out, my friend. Once Ancient Beast was recently updated. The new patch introduced a new mob you can tame and ride, that being the Charger. This mob is found on a ruined castle over at the Plains biome. The taming process for this mob is quite similar to horses. You ride on their backs a few times and wait until they approve of you. But be advised, each time you are rejected, the Charger gives you a tough headbutt as an act of self-defense. Once tamed, you can strap a saddle on it, as well as giving it an armor for extra protection. The Charger isn't very fast, but its headbutts are quite strong, so it will work like a living tank. There are two other mobs that are not tameable, the Snatcher and the Raider. One is peaceful, albeit a thief, the other is quite hostile and is actually the property of villagers. This new update was one of the biggest in a while, and I really love how slowly but surely this mod is improving. I've had my eyes on it for 2 years and I never lost interest. Keep it up, guys. Pelagic Prehistory has been updated after 2 years. You can now run it on 1.20.1 and there is plenty of new content to discover too. Before that, I'll quickly break down how it works. So you first dive deep into the bottom of the ocean, excavate these ancient fossil remains, bring them back to the lab, extract the DNA from them, mix their DNA with an egg, and you will have revived your very first ancient creature. As the name implies, all creatures here are oceanic, with few exceptions being amphibians. The textures and animations are also stunning, and the new dinosaurs within the update included one of my favorite species, those being the Spinosaurus. I like how this mod is simple in comparison to other dinosaur revival mods, but I will have to suggest that the author adds a tameable and rideable species. That'd be awesome. Dap Your Homies offered special multiplayer interactions. The interactions included dapping your homie the Adventure Time way, as you can even do a legendary dap from the original show. There's also the yeeting, where you can grab and throw your friends anywhere, with their permission of course. And finally, there is the boost, where you can give your friends a launch upwards. This mod is the best on this entire list for multiplayer servers, so be sure to check it out. This mod adds Thor's hammer, as well as Thor himself to Minecraft. Let's just focus on the hammer for now. The design here was quite good, no lazy to the models, and the details and emissions are fabulous. Looks aside, the force of this thing is quite remarkable. You can launch it at enemies and it will damage them twice, when it hits and when you call it back should they stand in the way. You can also strike them with lightning through shift right clicking. Aside from the hammer, there is also a new set of armor that looks fabulous and is quite tanky too. Now to Thor. This boss is certainly of no interest right now. The author was done with the modeling, which is quite good, but not quite yet in terms of the functionality. Thor simply can't attack you, which is quite disappointing, but after the mod is complete and the experience is full, you'll get to fight Thor and obtain his hammer and armors. Inventory Interactions is an animation mod which enhances the visuals of the inventory. What I loved the most about this mod was the item physics. When you grab a tool with your mouse, it will be dangling around based on how fast you are dragging it, making for extremely realistic item physics. I'll definitely be adding this to my mod pack fresh and smooth. It's a project about everything animation wise, so be sure to try it out if you are passionate about animations like myself. Tide 2 is a mod that improves upon fishing on Minecraft, starting from simple things such as changing the casting mechanic of the fishing rod, all the way to a fishing minigame that dictates the quality of your catch. I like the minigame. It's a nice way of making fishing more about skills than just plain luck. You could also attach a few gadgets to your fishing rod, making it more effective and efficient as well. There are even completely new variants to choose from, again each with their own sets of abilities. The fish you will be catching is actually alive on the ocean, as you can come across manta rays, tuna fish, guardian fish, monstrous variants such as dragonfish, and even fish that swim under lava. Of course, you'll need a dedicated fishing rod which can endure high temperatures if you want to capture those in particular. The mod was recently updated and added much of what you saw in this section, so be sure to give it a try, as fishing is a very enjoyable hobby both in real life and in Minecraft. This mod adds a new villager type found deeply underground. This villager naturally sells ores amongst other materials found on the caves, but most importantly, he sells scrolls and templates that will help us craft new sets of pickaxes. To enforce a diamond pickaxe, you simply need to mix it with an emerald or an amethyst shard on a smithing table. The result will be a stronger pickaxe, however one that is easily depleted. Though this is counterbalanced with you being able to magically enchant it with the scrolls we talked about earlier. And you can add special abilities to set pickaxes, either an explosive ability or its highlighter ability, and more. Due to the size of this mod, it can be integrated into any Vanilla Plus mod pack, so be sure to install it and give those new pickaxes a try. Qliphoth Awakening was recently updated. The new patch introduced a new boss called Jibura, located at the end. This boss is the embodiment of law and order. As expected of Fender Feed, the boss fight will have you on your heels the whole time, and you are almost guaranteed to die the first time you fight it. That's why there are these respawn anchors that will set a temporary spawn point so that you don't have to travel all the way back to the end after defeat. Jibura is invincible. The only way to kill it is through making it commit a sin. The only way to do it is trapping these phantoms here and tricking Jibura into shooting them. But be sure to keep an eye on the screens. Every now and then they will display a certain theme that you will have to follow. Failing to do so will result in instant execution. Once you manage to make Jibura commit 10 sins, it will execute itself as a sign of its supreme justice. The loot here is pretty neat, especially the turret you can set up on your home. And I have to admit, Fender Feed really changed boss fights as we know them. Thanks friend, keep at it. F-Tech Equipment is a technology mod that allows you to craft a super backpack. You can equip this backpack with plenty of upgrades, some of which will help you mine faster on the caves. Others can kill armies of hostile mobs planning to attack, and a few are just excellent at traveling and agile movement. What struck me about this mod isn't just the usefulness of the backpack, but how spectacularly it looks and works, especially the movement upgrade. It makes you look like Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man. Before we move on from this mod, I'd like to mention a critical cause of crashes. First, the forged versions simply don't work as of now. There's an API that the author forgot to mention that you will need to install, which is Reborn Core API. Said API is only for Fabric, and that's why the forged version doesn't work. I hope the author clarifies that on the mod page, and great mod regardless. Groth Mobs adds many high detail monsters to the game. The look of these creatures remind me so much of the Lekanites mobs. And the author has done a terrific job at the attacking patterns and the sound design as well. So they're not just for show. You could also get a few weapons, some of which will allow you to summon your own monster minions. I like this mod. It brings back good old memories and allows for a similar experience to the now outdated Lekanites mobs. But be advised that it is unique and not some copycat. Lucky's Locksmith is one of the best security mods that combine both total protection and simplicity. To get started, you simply craft a key and assign it to a chest, upon which the chest will never open unless you have the key on your inventory. The best thing yet, players can't even break it, so unless the owner is there, that chest will remain shut. The author is also planning to integrate golden keys as well as trial keys to the game. Right now they are obtainable only through creative mode, but once they arrive in survival mode, it's gonna be a very fun way to spice up the trial chambers amongst other dungeons. The only tragic thing that could happen is you falling on lava or dying on the void while having the only key to your chest. This will simply lock you out of your chest forever. To prevent such an outcome, make sure you save the pin of the key on a notebook. Creating backup copies of the key will also be very useful, and saving that data outside the game itself, say on a text file or a password manager, may be the best course of action of all. Stay safe now. Pastel is a mod adding a new dimension that exists below the bedrock. Before we head over there, I'd like to first talk about the things you can get from exploring said dimension. There are over 30 special tools and weapons, as well as 2 new sets of armors. Each one will have a built-in maxed out enchantment such as Blast Protection or Power VI. The authors were also quite generous with the blocks. You can craft countless types of blocks, either being machines or decorative blocks that will enhance your builds. You can also attach many accessories. Just like the artifacts mod, these accessories can give many different useful passive effects. Finally, I would like to talk about food. You will never go hungry with this mod. There are just so many different foods, and satiation aside, some of them can even inflict weird effects upon consumption, so they will be generally fun to try. Now to the dimension. This place looks marvelous, especially when used reaching in voxels. You could also come across huge structures filled with rooms and loot chests, as well as new animals such as lizards residing on their own dens. As a final note, I'd like to pay respect for the author of this mod, as Iparas has passed away during 2025. It is such a tragedy, and I'm glad to see her friends continuing the mod on her behalf, and may the author rest in peace. She died doing what she loved. Tomb structures adds plenty of vanilla-friendly buildings scattered around your world. Some of these structures are of historical origins, like the moist statues. Others are fantasy-based, such as these hobbit holes. And a few are quite similar to vanilla structures, such as the witch hats. This is a very pleasant and small world generation mod. Give it a try, and you may just end up taking some of these buildings as your own starter house. Clutter No More is an assistant mod for builders. The first thing you'll notice is how neat and organized the blocks will appear on the creative tab. That aside, the mod also presents new shapes for some block types, including vertical slabs and steps too. There's also a useful functionality where you will be able to convert the block in your hand to different shapes like stairs, slabs, and the new steps and vertical slabs as well. This is yet again a small but effective mod, and it will be a handy tool for builders, either on creative mode or survival mode. Thingamabobs is a mod that adds so many tools to the game, from a jackhammer that digs straight down and feature fluid animations, to rakes which will help you clean your garden and can hit you in the face if you step on it by mistake, to tongs that can pick and throw items, and the final example I'm mentioning, the Nutcracker. This tool will help you break down blocks no matter how tough they are. The mod features many more tools to try. I'd only suggest that the author make the Nutcracker capable of cracking a stack of blocks or items at a time. Sure, it's gonna be unrealistic, but it will be convenient, and it will make the tool reliable in survival mode as well. The Great Outdoors is a mod adding a hot spring biome to the game. This place is filled with geysers shooting up streaming water every now and then. There are also beautiful pine trees, dead logs, different flower types to pick up, and a few extra features unique to this place. The mod also added a few animals to hunt or be hunted by. There is the pronghorn, a rich source of game meat, and the puma, a hostile big cat that will jump you on the spot. There are also fictional creatures such as the seeper. It's entirely passive, but will shoot boiling spring water at you if you harass it, so be careful. There are also new structures. Within them you can find villagers specialized in park ranging. They will trade raw materials and a few items relating to hot spring biomes. This mod was a pleasant surprise for me. I literally found out about it halfway through this video. I just couldn't ignore or delay its showcase. So make sure you don't do that too. It's an experience worth your time, my friend. Up next we have a mod that will add a furry companion to your world called Maverick. Maverick's favorite food is naturally raw salmon. Feed it enough and it will pledge loyalty to you, protecting you from hostile mobs with all of its might. By using the Maverick totem on your companion, it will evolve into a superior Maverick, becoming more durable and also featuring new attacks as well. Just like real life cats, Maverick has 7 lives. Each time it receives lethal damage, it will revive and heal itself to continue the fight. Giving your companion an ancestral eye will make it hyper cautious, pinpointing hostile mobs nearby. This can be a lifesaver in dark places such as the caves. The Maverick is one of the best companion mods I've ever seen in a while. The animations and the creativity of the attacking parents are also something we should praise the author for. Good job, and keep it up, my friend. Ophidiophobia mod adds lots of real-life snakes to the game. The implementation here was excellent. Big snakes can wrap themselves around you and squeeze you to death, while a few snakes can swim, and others just blend seamlessly with their surroundings, making them a lot more dangerous. This mod also presents snake venom, as well as an anecdote lest you got bit. Mom wouldn't love this mod very much. Snakes scare her unconscious. But that aside, I'm sure there are many people that are very enthusiastic about these reptiles, and even those that are not will still appreciate the fauna expansion it offers. Up next we have Nirvana, a mod adding hemp farms and plenty of ways you could use said plants on Minecraft. The hemp is a plant naturally found on the jungle. Drying it out in a furnace will allow you to process the result into foods as well as soft pipes to use. Upon eating these foods, the world around you will turn vibrant and your vision will begin to flicker. Though in its useful side, using the pipes will chill out any mobs that are about to attack, which can get you out of sticky situations. The mod supports supplementaries, with you being able to craft drops out of hemps, giving them even more utility. This mod is quite fun. The idea behind it is creative and will expand upon agriculture on Minecraft. So try it out and begin your own hemp farm, my friend. Naraka mod adds a very peculiar boss fight that takes place on this beautiful mold castle. To first get there, you will need to buy the sanctuary compass from a wandering trader. This compass will be pointing to the exact location of the arena. Head to the middle of the arena, light this netherrack block, and you will be up against none other than Herobrine himself. I really love this boss fight. Herobrine is quite skillful. He uses a combination of physical attacks such as martial arts, along with magical abilities like throwing fireballs or using shadow movement. Herobrine deals tremendous damage and you will be dead in seconds even with netherite armors. So focus on dodging his attacks or get a stronger armor. Upon death, you get a new type of material that can be forged into new equipment. Now here, I'll have to suggest a few things for the author. First, empower the equipment. Aside from the unbreakability, they are worthless. Second, fix the fight itself. At some point, the boss spams the same attack and you can't even damage it. This simply renders this whole mod unplayable in survival, so I hope the author takes action immediately. This mod will simply show you the inside of blocks with a new realistic 3D model. Right now only the furnaces are covered, but more workbenches are expected to be modeled pretty soon. And I like the idea. It makes for an advanced and visually appealing mod pack. Bones and Swords is a mod about pirates. On the ice spikes you can find a pirate ship engulfed in ice and snow. Inside the ship you will find a treasure room filled with jewelry and loot chests. You can open one of the chests with a key, which will provide you with a few weapons to use against the Captain Skeleton. The fight here was the sweet spot between old school and enjoyable. Sure, there are no fancy animations and the boss doesn't execute multiple attacks apart from the evoker fangs, but you have to understand that there is only one author behind the mod, and frankly, I did enjoy the fight regardless. Anyways, having defeated the Captain Skeleton, you'll get access to the rest of the loot chests, which will spew out extra treasures, many of which are functional items that will help you underwater and on the surface as well. This mod is a classic. It is made with mCreator, but I don't think it's a reason you should exempt it from your mod pack, my friend. mCreator causing lag on server is a baseless claim. I used mCreator mods that are even bigger than this one on my server, like the Born in Chaos mod, and frankly I never experienced any lag from it in particular, so I urge you guys to stop the hate on that tool. And finally, we have Wan's Storage Shelves. This mod adds a unique twist to the storage on the game, adding shipment boxes and shelves to store them on. When opening the boxes on the shelf, the UI will be adjacent to how many boxes are stacked on a given shelf, and the pixel art here is quite beautiful too. I like this mod, but I'll have to suggest that the author adds the ability to grab and put back the boxes anytime the player wishes to. This way they serve their actual purpose and become a lot more convenient. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in fighting a medieval fantasy monster such as the Cyclops, or taming a kaiju such as the Godzilla, or maybe just recruiting some small companions to help you check out enemies, then you wouldn't want to miss out on last month's collection. Subscribe and turn on the bell if you are enjoying my content, and be sure to try out Pine Hosting if you want to start a server with these mods and get a 30% off your first order. Now I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.